So what's next two? Phase two now is putting in the mechanics for some tool calling, right? Putting in the mechanics. Now, this step two program, we're not going to necessarily steal anything just yet from it. It's literally one of these sort of proof of concepts programs that will let us know that we can even do some tool calling here. So let's just take a look at this program, and then we'll start stealing some code from it. So it's just literally one function called weather question. Okay, we're going to connect to the model server again. The question is, what is the weather like in New York City? We're going to put that question into the conversation slice. And then what we're going to do is add this tool to the input. You saw this a little bit already. So we're going to tell the model there is a tool. It's a function. It's called tool get weather. This is what it does. These are the parameters. And we're going to pass in this tool information along with this question. And what we expect is that the model returns us a tool call by looking at this slice and it not being 0. There are models and configurations that could return multiple tool calls to you in the same call. That's why this is a slice. And you can turn that on. It's like a switch you can turn on with the model. Where, oh, you know what? Be really efficient. And if you think there's multiple calls we need to make, just tell me up front, and I'll make all the calls, and then I'll give you all the responses. So right now, I'm just assuming that there's just going to be one call if we have one, because I've only given it one tool. So I'll log that. And then what I'm doing here is just hard coding the response. So I'm going to do the following. I'm adding back to the conversation that the assistant asked me to make a tool call. The assistant asked me to make a tool call. It had this ID. It was a function. It was named this, and these are the arguments. We have to put that back into the conversation history so the model knows on the next response that it asked me to do a tool call. It doesn't know. The tool ID is critical. The tool ID and the function name is critical because that's how the model is going to map. Oh, I asked it to make a tool call? Oh, that's the response? Boom. So we are responsible for putting the tool call back into the conversation using this format. Then we're going to make a call to the tool, which right now is hard-coded to return some data. Okay? We're going to append that to the conversation. Then we're going to loop back up and now send the response, the tool call, and the response back. So on the next loop, we're going to have the original question, the assistant saying we need a tool call, the response from the tool call. We're going to feed that back to the model, and it should answer the question now. All right? And then we'll get back the answer. You can see here, I have hard-coded the response. You can also see I'm giving the model a response in a JSON format. It's better to give the model structured data. The most important thing, though, is when I give the model back the response, the role is tool. That's going to clear it in that this was the tool response, even though we put it together. It's the tool response. It was this ID, okay? And then we're giving it sort of all this data. Okay, so let me run step 2. This is what I would call a proof of concept program, just to validate the mechanics. So look at what happened here. What's the weather in New York City? The model came back and said, you need to make this tool call. That's what you saw in the other example on the Kronk side. But this time, I pretended I made a tool call, fed the model this data. I'm logging it on the screen. I fed it that data back as a role tool, and then look what the model responded as. Oh, Bill, the weather in New York City is pretty cool, right? This is what your Claude code is doing, your AMP is doing, your client is doing. It's doing that tool call. And because we're using chat completions, the client has to do the tool call because it has to continue to maintain the context window, the history.
So basically the model is smart enough to parse the parameters from the prompt and provide in a schema way that we can make the call to the tool after.
The answer is yes, if you make the tool call simple enough to use. So Klein has this tool call for reading files, but the parameter list is really wacky. And every once in a while, the model I'm using doesn't know how to do it right. And people have been complaining all over the chat with Klein that you have to simplify this tool call. Okay? So if your tool calls are really reasonable and they're very much like what Linux would do, the model is probably not going to make a mistake. But if you add too many parameters and stuff, there's a good chance that lower level models aren't going to be able to reason about that as well as higher level models.
So it's better to have small tools and then you change that.
It's the Linux thing coming back, right?
Internal.
Now, if we were doing a responses API, then Kronk could have done these pieces, right? Kronk could have gotten this, made the call, sent that back to the model, and then all you would have seen is this, but you just lost all that history. So in responses, I would have behind the scenes fired events. Hey, we just got the tool call, so it is, hey, this is the data I'm about to send. So when we get to this, you can put all that back into the context history yourself and sort of keep going, right? If you're using a responses that does tool calling, then you still have to maintain the context window, but you're getting it through a side event. Does all that make sense? Okay, you had a question.
Yeah.